the program directors, the chaplain and other religious leaders, traditional and community leaders, the parents of Joost van der Westhuizen, Gustav and Dani Mariana, his brothers Peter and Gustav, his children Jordan and Kylie, and the mother Amo van der Westhuizen, the Deputy Minister of Sports and Recreation Gert Westhuizen, the MEC of Arts and Culture in Gauteng, government representatives from England and New Zealand, the SASCOG leadership, the chairman of World Rugby, the president of South African Rugby, members of the 1995 Rugby World Cup team and all rugby legends, former teammates from Blue Bulls and Springboks, representatives of the J9 Foundation. At that point, I want to acknowledge the role the legends played in trying to save the life of Joost van der Westhuizen. And I want to say to you, we are all aware of the endeavors you took to support Joost van der Westhuizen. Life is precious, and it's good to support one of your own while he's still alive, not when he's departed. And I thank you. I thank you very much for staying with Joost throughout this difficult period up until to the end. Residents of Tshwane and fellow South Africans, it is on this evergreen grass where the heart of Joost van der Westhuizen lies dreaming, under the skies of the Jacaranda city, where birds are singing a song of the mountains, to which we have been summoned by the soul of this doyen of the South African rugby. The Gauteng government and the national government have been commanded by the President of the Republic of South Africa to convey our heartfelt condolences to the van der Westhuizen family, to the Blue Bulls and Springbok fans. We are here to comfort the family and to demonstrate our support to the local rugby fraternity and show solidarity to the world of rugby on behalf of the people of South Africa on this solemn occasion. For Joost is not only the golden boy of Loftus Versfeld, he is a national lodestar, an international sport icon in the league of George Gregan of Australia, Jonah Lomu and Dan Carter of New Zealand. We speak of him in these glowing terms because we believe his undying spirit will live on for many years to come, inspiring future generations of this rugby and sports living nation. The presence of esteemed government representatives from New Zealand, England and other parts of the world is testimony to the indelible mark he leaves behind, an acknowledgement of his enormous contribution to the world of rugby. Secondly, and most important, when the South African government learned of the shocking news that Joost finally succumbed to his rare illness, the highest office in the land ordered that Joost van der Westhuizen be awarded a provincial official funeral because he's one of a kind and he is simply the best. Very few South Africans get to be honored posthumously by being accorded this category of an official funeral. In this seat of government and across the Gauteng province, flags are flying at half-mast. Today, the body of this gallant fighter, in and off the field of play, is appropriately draped in a flag decorated by the kaleidoscope of South African national colors in honor of this great sportsman. Just after midday, the national anthem reverberated throughout this stadium as a human gesture of our collective symbol of respect to our fallen hero's deeds and a tribute to his indomitable soul with white line fever. It is fitting gesture because this brother wore both the provincial and national colors with pride as a true sports tireless campaigner of this glorious nation. When our proceedings draw to a close, we will hand over the flag to the family as a signal of our nation's token of appreciation, a symbol of love and loyalty. The flag is a constant reminder of titanic battles this soldier fought at home and far afield, returning home to proclaim that the mission is accomplished. This afternoon, the South African Police Service and the chaplain are here to salute Joost, a giant scrum half that strode this pitch like a colossal, fearing neither labor nor toil, as he marshaled the Blue Bulls' charges to the advancing opponents. As you have heard, it is during the period 1993 to 2003 that Joost mesmerized the visiting teams at Loftus, on tour and in the domestic championship, that left fans and fools believing in the invincibility of the Blue Bulls. I dare say, standing here myself, my blood is blow. Joost van der Westhuizen. Joost van der Westhuizen is a household name in the then Northern Transvaal province and played a pivotal role in bringing 2 Currie Cup trophies home. As the previous speakers mentioned, the man who are given this well-deserved send-off was the Springbok captain and played in 3 IRB World Cups. One of them is the unforgettable 1995 World Cup, a massive human effort from which the Springboks emerged victorious. Joost was instrumental in that victory, playing alongside other living legends in the likes of Francois Pienaar, Chester Williams, James Small, Joel Stransky, to mention a few. I strongly believe the Springbok team winning the World Cup in 1995 was inspirational and motivational to John Smith and his generation, as it fortified their resolve to win the World Cup in 2007. Again, I believe, as a consequence of the maturity and competitive edge of the South African rugby, we were serious contenders for the William Ebb Ellis Cup in New Zealand. There can be no denying that forces beyond our control conspired against us. That story is better left at that. The Ministry of Sports and Recreation has been following Joost's journey and fight for life. In 2012, we awarded him the Steve Tshwete Lifetime Achievement Award, and I went personally to deliver the award at his home. We were joined by his parents and other members of his family on this joyous occasion. I was indeed moved by his positive attitude and sense of humor, never allowing himself to wallow in self-pity. And to that, I say to you, my brother, we will never cry. The tears we see in us are tears of joy, for you lived your life to the fullest, and you represented our country with dignity and pride, and you fought for your people. Fellow mourners, Joost has been taken by his maker to be with him. The question we South Africans must answer is, how do we keep the memory and legacy of Joost alive? My answer is that it is incumbent upon us to continue to draw inspiration from the talented rugby players such as Joost, as we strive to reclaim our #1 place in the world of sport. Our national hero and international icon, Nelson Mandela, acknowledged the unifying role of sport in society on many occasions. We ourselves can attest to the massive boost Nation building and social cohesion derive from the rugby, football and cricket world and continental championships we hosted and won on our shores. Let us build on the strength of our diversity, a non-racial, non-sexist, democratic society and prosperous South Africa. Never be afraid about what you saw in Parliament. It is democracy in action. Let the future generations learn that the best classroom in the world is at the feet of giants and champions such as Joost. The class of 95 in rugby and the class of 96 in football. I end by thanking Joost's parents, children, siblings, and the entire Van der Westhuizen family for sharing Joost with the sports fraternity and the nation. We salute you for your humility and spirit imbued by a deep sense of patriotism, manifest in you welcoming the government and sports movement to join in the celebrations of the life and times of Joost van der Westhuizen. God bless you. May his soul rest in peace. Long live the spirit of Joost van der Westhuizen. Ambagahle moilop Joost. Baie dankie.